better than the Hip Hop 50 concert, which is coming to Yankee Stadium on August 11th, featuring performances by Run DMC, Lil Wayne, Snoop, Ice Cube, Eve, and so many more. That is Friday the 11th. X, I think you and I are on Apple pre and post game, so we may not be able to attend, but Ariel,
I'm checking my schedule as soon as I get off here. I know I'm up here.
The best was getting the text from LG when she figured out this was going on. She goes, oh my gosh, we should all go, all of us, off base, let's do it. Then 2 seconds later, never mind, I'm working. You go have fun.
Yeah, have fun, everybody. You're welcome. You're supposed to. Yeah, it was like team outing, and then it didn't really.
As soon as it was announced, you were on it.
Yeah, I was really excited. That would be great to go to. I'll be there in spirit. Guys, we were also in Cooperstown in spirit over the course of this past weekend. Fred McGriff and Scott Rowland were inducted into the Hall of Fame. What a wonderful weekend of events. I believe Brian Kenny has relocated to Cooperstown. He's been up there for like the past 3 weeks. So very happy
he loves
for
it
him.
there.
And for all of the shows and the amazing content that he's been bringing us from upstate New York. But in all seriousness, it's always so fun and so special to witness everything that unfolds, the speeches, the ceremony of everything, and really what it takes to be enshrined in the Baseball Hall of Fame and to be inducted into such a prestigious institution.
Yeah.
Got us to thinking, which current players do we think could join McGriff and Rowland?
I'll start. Well, first of all, those were two amazing speeches, two of the best speeches I've ever heard. One of the reasons why I love baseball and wanted to learn more about baseball when I was younger, watching those types of players. But for me, Freddie Freeman. Freddie Freeman is my guy that's automatically a lock, and it's almost just because of the consistency factor. Peeve, you know, too, our only goal is to be consistent in this game. Second most multi-hits this year so far. He leads MLB in slugging, OPS, extra base hits. And one last note for you guys, 23 players in MLB history have 2,000 hits, 300 home runs, 300 batting average, 900 OPS, 19 are in the Hall of Fame, and the 4 other are Manny Ramirez, Todd Helton, Miguel Cabrera, and Freddie Freeman. He's the example of consistency. Had an opportunity to talk to him at the All-Star game, and I asked him about his routine and what makes his routine so consistent. He said, from day one, he's never changed his routine, and he's always kept it the same. And that's hard to do as a player, because a lot of times you'll question yourself, okay, am I doing the right thing? Do I need to switch something up? And I think because he's learned himself so much and learned that he's going to go through ups and downs, but at the same time, he trusts his routine. I think that's what's made him such a special player and will be in the Hall of Fame one day.
I still want to know what happened to the soft serve machine in Atlanta. It's no longer in the clubhouse.
I'll say this to back you up. Greg Walker, hitting coach with Chicago, long time, great hitting coach, went to Atlanta, and me and him were talking shortly after him, and he said Freddie Freeman was the best player he had ever coached, best hitter that he had ever coached. And he was just left Paul Konerko and some great ones. He had such high praise for Freddie Freeman, Hall of Famer.
Great dancer, too, according to his
And one last thing, when I say the second most multi-hits in MLB, the one thing, because it sticks out to me, is because as a hitter, it's tough to go get a knock, and then when they attack you differently, then you have to make an adjustment off of that. And he's so good at making those adjustments.
Adjusting to the adjustments.
And and it's something special that just sticks out to me.
Speaking of extra base hits, one of the men that leads in extra base hits, the Angels two-way player Shohei Ohtani, leads in extra base hits, leads in home runs, top 5 in strikeouts. When on earth is the next time we are going to see this happen? Another 100 years? Shohei Ohtani is a lock for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I feel like maybe like the second he put that uniform on, maybe he was already due to be enshrined in the Hall of Fame. I love that. Shohei Ohtani, I mean, Ariel, you look at those numbers, that's just 6 major league seasons.
Doesn't even make sense. It doesn't.
I saw some that were comparable to Babe Ruth.
Yep.
Like, those are almost exactly Babe Ruth's numbers through the exact amount of games, home runs, and then pitching.
And to think about the athleticism and how like the level of the game has elevated to a completely different stratosphere.
It's almost even hard to compare him to Babe Ruth now, because Babe Ruth never played against Latino players, never played, he wasn't playing against guys like Shohei Ohtani and Shohei Ohtani's
But he was getting crushed every night in the bar, so like there's got to be some
some balance there.
Ohtani just eats Funyuns.
Ohtani
doesn't go out. Funyuns.
Yeah, he doesn't drink, he doesn't go out. Can I open up Pandora's box, because we have a little bit of time to have this discussion, because this is all we're going to talk about
it up.
leading up to line, where will Ohtani be come Wednesday?
Are we going
I was
there?
just a little birdie in my ear said, hey, we have time. We have 2 minutes. Plus, well, I want to say who's going to go in.
Go.
No. First, we're talking Ohtani.
Go. Where's Ohtani
We're
going?
producing on the fly. Gosh, this is a tough one. I mean, I don't think the Dodgers are going to trade for him right now unless there's like a guaranteed extension that's going to happen, and maybe it's contingent on like other pieces of that puzzle. I could maybe see San Diego doing something wild. I could see Uncle Steve Cohen maybe doing something. I don't know. Could you see Ohtani anywhere that would be like a mid-market team? That could be like a fun thing to entertain. What if they did something crazy in Tampa and he went to the Rays?
Well, you could see it.
Why not?
It's
I'm just throwing out hypotheticals.
I know
It's just going to be so hard to pull off such a mega deal in such short of time because, like you said, it's going to be either this hardcore rental for a few months, or is there even time to
Or you
have
build
some
in
kind
an
of discussion?
extension,
I
yeah.
don't even know if there's enough time to do that.
Then we would have
I think
nothing
he's
to talk
staying
about in the
Anaheim.
postseason.
We're talking about Anaheim trying to punch their ticket. They're in better shape than Seattle and some of the other places. They're grinding out there.
Yeah.
But Rendon has really hurt that situation, not being able to stay on the field. I'm not throwing stones at him. I'm talking about that has just been a huge spot with him and Trout out behind Shohei.
Yeah.
They need
MVP
that, but
caliber players out.
they've gotten some incredibly talented young players coming on the scene, and if they could get some pitching, they're in it.
The
Like, I
Angels
can't
have
trade
been
this
winning games, which is making it very difficult to make a case for getting rid of Ohtani. Ohtani's going to stay in LA, or Anaheim, because if he's chasing the AL home run record, talk about business. The money that could come into Anaheim to watch Shohei Ohtani change Judge's record from last year, on top of the money they already make from the Japanese endorsement deals they have from Ohtani, there's not going to be a price that anyone can put in a rental, to PV's point,
You got a great point there.
to be able to get Ohtani by August 1st.
I think there,
I'd like to
I
see
think
the
there
actual
could be
numbers.
a package. I think there could be a package. But what I will say is that I think the Angels will keep him. But I'll be disappointed because I think the Angels have talked so much about wanting to have him long term. And I think the only way that I think you really keep him long term is if you trade him, go bring in some pieces that can allow him to be attracted to re-sign
And get
back
him
to
back
the
in the
Angels.
offseason.
And because you're not guaranteed that he's going to sign anyway after this offseason. But if you have an opportunity to say, okay, we traded you, got some of these pieces, now we can revisit what this team will look like over the next 8 to 10 years. Now we can talk about putting a roster together around you.
Leverage his
for
value
success.
in the short term to
Which
keep him in
means
the
they
long
would
term.
need to go talk to him. Like if I were the Angels,
Yeah.
I would be sitting down every day.
that's gotta
and
be
going,
the
"Hey, what
priority
do
is
you
talking
want? We
to-
want
yeah.
you here for the long term. What do we need?
And
to
open
do?"
communication has to be so important
I would
throughout
think
the
that
course
would
of this process.
honestly.
But with
should
a
be
guy with so
happening.
much leverage, he's not going to give away anything.
Well,
That's
no, he doesn't have to, but if you're the Angels, I think you are proactive.
definitely have to have those conversations. Yeah, you have to try to have.
Hey,
Okay.
what do you want to see happen in this situation?
We're just going to agree that none of us have any idea what's going to happen with Shohei Ohtani.
But that's
And
the
get
cool
back
thing.
on track.
With Shohei, we don't know what Shohei's thinking. That's the actual cool thing to me.
But
is
he
like,
doesn't really have any no trades in place, so it's
could
not up to him what happened.
He didn't give away a whole lot of trade secrets at all.
Yeah, but it's not up to
everything's
him. It's
close
not
to
up to him what happens.
Oh, I understand. Look,
It's up to Artie Moreno and the Angels.
He could certainly force the issue.
Yeah.
If he wanted out, he could certainly voice that. But I don't think he does. I think he has a better chance of staying in Anaheim long term than people think.
Wow. Okay, speaking of long term, who that is currently in the game has the best chance of going to the Hall of Fame in your mind?
Well, look, I want to point to Miguel Cabrera. We all see Miguel as getting older and just not quite what he once was. We all exit the game.
us back, King.
That's right. I want to talk to you about what this guy has done for almost 2 decades. Nobody has had as much fun, and nobody has been as big of a presence in the middle of the lineup. You're talking about maybe Albert Pujols in front of him in his tenure in this run. This guy was the centerpiece of 2 monster lineups, a world champion Florida Marlin team, and then now in Detroit for a long time, Miguel Cabrera. Be a great day.
He's having a heck of a victory lap. Okay, I'm going to go real quick. Mookie Betts, we're going back to the Dodgers. I know he's only 30 years old so far. 7-time All-Star, 6-time Gold Glove winner, 5-time Silver Slugger. Won the World Series not once, but twice. And oh yeah, by the way, has an MVP title under his belt at just 30 years old. So do
Break
the
it
math,
down,
carry the
LG.
5, subtract the 2.